Welcome. We're going to be talking about what's up with Substack right now. So I'm still trying to figure out what is how often are these lives going to be, what days, what times. We don't know. But Seth is going to be a regular guest for sure because he just knows so much and is just, I love what he does. Seth, tell us more about just like your perspective on things right now. Being someone who's building a platform, what comes to mind?
Building a platform. Wow, that's a big one. No, I guess my perspective just comes from like 20 years of being in the music industry and seeing platforms come and go. And for over those 2 decades, whatever, email has always been crucial in a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so Substack as a tool today allows you to build an email list. And that I think is the most important thing. And a lot of what I do and talk about is strengthening the people that are already on your list and doing
Yes.
whatever you can to get people onto your email list. So, yeah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about engagement, and then we'll talk about what are the things that we're seeing on Substack that people need to be aware of right now. But let's talk about engagement. Let's talk about keeping people on your list. What do you stress the most? What do you pay attention to the most?
One of the things for me is and look, I was a deep social media user. I was one of the first 3,000 people to be on Twitter back in
Wow.
2006. Yeah, wild, wild ride. We are so anxious and like we have such a easy reflex to post on now notes on Substack notes. Let me post on notes, post on notes, post on notes. And I kind of make this analogy though too with like of getting off social media. So instead of
Yeah.
posting the thing on social media, maybe I'll text something to my friends instead.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like if I have a funny picture or whatever like that, instead of even putting it on Substack notes, I might send it to two friends. Or I might put it on my blog. And so I think part of that is, and then treating your email list the same way of like instead of like here let me pile up notes, let me pile up social media. No, let me hold some of this stuff for my email subscribers who are the most important people that I know I can always reach, instead of fishing for Substack notes where it's like, oh, I got to get more, I got to get more.
I love that so much. So, give an example. What is one example? So, if everyone, if you're just coming in, that was just the most brilliant thing. Because
Mhm.
I think the other thing that you remind me of, and I'm really aware of this right now, which is let's not turn Substack into another platform that you try to game and feel like you're a servant to, because
Mm.
that sucks. Like, we don't need that. We came here because it was different, so let's not turn. That's what I don't like about these people are like 10 tips for whatever. And I've fallen into that trap too, but I will never use a number in my headlines again. Is what I decided. So I will never
Sure.
do that. But looking at like that's just making us game a system again and
Yeah.
a platform. So like let's not do that. But anyway, so what you were saying I love, which is I think we're all becoming a little addicted to notes, which notes is amazing. Like it is
It is. Oh,
incredible.
absolutely.
But I love what you just said, which is wait a second, let me not just like gimme on notes and just post. And instead, okay, whatever I'm about to post, let me save that for my subscribers and hold on to it. Maybe put it in a post, maybe send it to a friend, maybe even DM it to someone like on
Hmm.
Substack that you've been wanting to reach out to.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts? So give us an example, like where it was a time that maybe you've done it or you've seen it or an example you could think of.
Well, I mean, one was just maybe not a direct example, but something I did post on notes that got a little that resonated a little bit, but I know not everyone saw it. Not all my subscribers saw it. So I
Yeah.
replied to someone today on notes of the exact post that I copied the text from and put it in one of my newsletters. Again, because I knew all my newsletter subscribers did not see that post.
Yeah.
So it's taking something that might have resonated a bit on
Mm.
notes, or something that that might like just hold on to it and and throw it in a post instead, in a newsletter to your subscribers instead.
And what we started on was this idea of Like, yes, gimme more subscribers, more subscribers. I wish people posted on notes instead of like, I have 100,000 subscribers, or I have 50,000, or I have 100. If people were like, I held on to a subscriber this week, like
Oh, for
I
sure. That
prevented
goes,
someone from unsubscribing this week, like
yeah.
engagement, right? What is
Hmm.
our engagement and how are we keeping people? So Seth was kind of talking about, really, I just love the mentality that you're bringing, which is, I got to take care of my people.
Yes. The most important. I mean, because I mean, people I talk to, artists I talk to, clients I talk to, some of them make a career off of who's on their email list.
Mm,
And like they come first. Remember the old saying, like Instagram eats first?
no.
Like taking, oh, sorry.
You're going to
May-
talk to, I'm a total, like, I never
Sorry.
got on social media.
Okay. Okay. But there was an Instagram thing of like people would take photos of their food before they ate, and they kind of always said Instagram eats first. But
Oh,
I kind of changed it to like my email list eats first,
mm,
or my own website eats first. Like put it in a place where it's where your fans, where your audience can find it, can indulge in it, can it pulls people a little bit more into your own world
yeah.
again, rather than let me throw it out into social media, let me throw it out for everyone. Hold it back, hold it back, have some mystery.
Yeah. I love that so much. The other thing that I'm going to be talking about too is, hey, everybody, what does your expiration email say? Did you know you have one? You do. So this is something, and mine is terrible right now. So just so you know, but this is something. So if you go onto your settings, okay, and
Oh my
everybody,
goodness.
I'm gonna Seth, tell me if you can you see my
I
thing?
Yep, I can see it. Yep.
Can you see the like what it says?
Well, email
Yeah.
sender name and all that stuff. Yeah, the details. Yeah.
Okay. So can you see this expiration emails?
Oh
Paid
boy.
subscription expiration email and the renewal email. So these are the emails that are sent to annual subscribers a week before their subscription expires. And this is the one when their subscription expires. So what does this say? Like, again, there's a default on there. Mine is like, I don't know. This is fine. I tell them what everything they get on Substack Writers at Work, but that kind of feels like homework. A little bit like, look at all the stuff you would have to do if you stayed on Substack Writers at Work. But so those are customizable. So again,
Yes.
just thinking about, you will grow much faster if you keep people.
Huge. Yeah. Yeah. To people that have resonated with your work over the last several months or years, those are the people that you need like on your team, because
Yeah.
they're the ones that almost on your marketing team. They're the ones that are most least biased group of people that could tell other people about what you do. Because we can keep shouting about what we do, and
Yeah.
that's always like, well, of course you're going to say that, but like the random people from all over the world that love what you do, like make it easy for them to keep telling their friends, their network about what you do.
I feel like with yours, Seth, there is a sense of like everyone's come over to your house.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I'm just curious, like that's what your Substack feels like. What do you think? How do you do that?
Wow. Um, Part of it is because I've been writing online like to people since 2001.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing a music blog for I did a music blog for decades, like, and constantly just put so I got comfortable in how I wanted to write and what
Did a
I
music
wanted to
blog for that.
read. And I knew what I didn't like, and so I wrote it
Mm,
how I want to read it. And like I think in doing that, like doing it how you like, you're going to attract the people that are into it as well. Like, so if you're trying to pretend to write in a certain way, there's that takes so much energy. And so I really feel like writing how, and it takes a lot from reading too.
yeah.
Like reading other people's publications. Not to copy them, or but to see the influence, see how the differences and how different people write and talk with their audience, because it's kind of like when you see some of these bigger authors or people with larger audiences, and you see how comfortable they are,
Mm,
like getting comfortable in their like in their own skin with their
yeah,
own writing, like yeah, like take it takes the pressure off a bit that you don't have to be perfect at this. You can make mistakes, you can have typos, like you can flub stuff, like it's okay. And I think as when you work a little bit under when you're not under when you don't put yourself under so much pressure to get it right every single time. I just worked with a client with this is kind of separate, but on the e-commerce side of things with a Shopify and all that stuff. But oh, like the pressure to be so perfect with that first email. And it's
yeah,
like this is and with that, you don't send out to your whole list at first. You just send to a small group, and it's like it's just 300 people. Just like make your mistake in front of 300 people before you send it to 3,000 people. Like
yeah,
it's you like and so to just be comfortable writing to 20 people, 100 people, 200 people, because that's the only way you get comfortable writing to 5,000 people.
right. Or 50,000.
Or
What do you
someday.
think? Yeah. What do you think is most important? What's happening on Substack right now? What are you noticing? What's like kind of on your horizon right now?
Well, with subs, I love the energy I've been seeing on the live front, both the positive and the negative.
What's
Um,
the negative?
oh, you mean there's negative things that people are saying about
Look
Substack
at how
Live?
I just went like right in. I'm like,
Woo!
tell me the things. No,
And I was almost gonna say like I haven't been seeing much lately. Oh, there I lost you for a second. I was almost gonna say I
I
haven't
know
been
my
seeing
phone rang.
much.
Sorry.
Uh, I haven't been seeing much of the negative lately, but I think because I just blocked or muted some people. Oops. But the idea, like for me, the idea with Substack Live is like you don't have to do it like everybody else is doing it. And I've seen
Mm,
some amazing people do like wildly creative things with it, especially artists. Beth
yeah,
Spencer at Introvert Drawing Club, like the top-down drawing thing,
yeah,
amazing. It looks great too, because as artists, there's a handful of artists doing this. It looks amazing
yeah,
the artwork, and then they do it with another person, so there's artwork here and it's just a
yeah.
voiceover. Not everything needs to be two people talking back and forth.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm really excited for what that can bring and what that can do, and especially too because it makes it easier to just make video in the first place and then
Hmm.
put that in a future newsletter.
Yeah.
I
One
love that.
thing, yeah, what I'm noticing, and I want to hear if you are too, but when I send out the recording of the live, it doesn't get much traction. So, what I've been doing, and other people can think about this, I take the live. So, a couple things that I've heard. When you have a live, post it right away. So,
Yep.
Substack's going to send you the recording and you want to post it right away. I don't send it to my subscribers, mainly because I also just don't want to be sending out a lot.
Right.
So, but I don't do that. And then what I do is I upload it to YouTube.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
then what I do is in my next post, I put the YouTube video at the bottom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see this. This is like my ultra thing. And the reason is I just don't find that Substack video gets that much traction. Like it just doesn't. I think because in the email, people see a video and the video takes them out of their email. And I
Mm.
don't, I'm like, I'm zeroing out right now. Like all I
Oh
want is to
wow.
get to a
Okay.
zero inbox. And you just took me out to go somewhere else. And I don't want to go somewhere else right now. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing with that. And you can
Okay.
see on the I just did a live with Gregory Garrettson and David Roberts, and then my next post was about the live, and then at the bottom of the post you can see our live that's on YouTube. So that's my big workaround for what
Hmm.
I see as video not getting that much traction when you send it out in email. What are your thoughts?
Hmm. That's a neat direction of putting it on YouTube. I loathe YouTube. I love YouTube. It sucks me in and I watch a lot of stuff on there, but like I hate uploading to it. I don't like putting
But
stuff
it's
on there.
automatic.
I know, but I
You
don't
have
know.
to
There's
check
just some
a box.
I know you're right, but I don't know. I just like Anyway, and how I do it is I will you know how it shows the replay thing at the bottom when you finish this? It's like, do you want to send a draft? I'll send a draft
Right.
to my drafts.
Me
I'll
too.
quick clean it up. I'll add like the my guests Substack sign up, a couple links or two. What I do is I made a section on my site on my Substack called replays,
Mm,
and they don't show up in my main feed.
yep.
Like it's hidden from the main feed. That was my thing. I didn't want it to show up like that because it's not a full post. So if you go to my Substack, you can find the replay tab, and all the replays are there. So they sit there, so a person could find that easily and watch it. But then, like a day or the next week, I'll actually write a post around that interview,
Yeah.
and usually I'll take a clip from it. Maybe it's audio, maybe it's
Yeah.
video. And if you want to watch the whole thing, it's over here. You can
Yep.
click to watch it, the full video. I also upload it to Transistor as a podcast, and I'm like, you can listen to the audio over here as well and
Yeah.
subscribe to that. So that's what I do.
And that's, someone was just saying that they get a lot of traction on their lives. So again, it's like everything on Substack, it just depends.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Everyone's audience is different. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but other people are saying no, like not getting traction on the video.
Hmm.
How do you do the YouTube to keep it limited? You can on so it'll just be. Is that true? I don't know
Well,
about paywalling, and my stuff is not paywall. The
it would be
videos.
unlisted on YouTube then, right?
Yeah, it would
And then,
have to be unlisted. We'll look. We'll look. We'll check for you. Okay,
yeah,
Daria.
that's the benefit of Substack is you can really paywall a lot of this stuff
Yeah,
very easily. So
yeah, totally.
I paywall my my weekly. I'm starting to do them now twice a week. Just like paid subscriber hangouts on
Yeah,
Mondays and Thursdays. I don't want everybody to have access to that, so I'll
yeah,
I'll put those replays up as for paid subscribers only.
yeah. So then tell me, okay, Reels. Let's talk about Substack
What's
Reels.
reels? There are no reels, right? Or that's the tab thing at the bottom, right?
Yeah,
Like, and then it brings up. You know what? I don't like so I don't click it. I don't
yeah,
click it.
okay,
That's it. Like my fix really is YouTube Shorts.
yeah,
I can fall down the rabbit hole of YouTube Shorts very easily. It knows me very well. It serves, and so I don't want to do that on Substack.
yeah,
So and really, like, I mean, a lot of this stuff on Substack is I want to watch a full, like, 30-minute or 45-minute long interview. Like,
right.
I've seen some of your lives that, like, oh, I can't get to it right now. I'll be making dinner. I'm gonna watch it then. So
Yeah,
I'm not looking to flip through and see a 10-second clip of you talking to someone about, like, I'm not gonna do that.
yeah. It
So
feels like an advertisement. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so it's just not something I click on. That part of the app is just not what I go on the app for.
Yeah,
So
it's
uh
funny. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I guess it could turn into a time suck, but YouTube Shorts does it a lot better,
Yeah, the
eh,
interface
to
isn't
my
great.
detriment.
Yeah, and there isn't nearly enough cat videos. Like, I don't even know how you can
Sure, yeah.
call it anything.
What I mean, right? Who's the person that's going to make a Substack live of just a camera on a couple of cats?
I
Like, why hasn't
besides
someone done
me,
that? Like, why hasn't someone done that already?
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Or a bird feeder, or their
Yeah,
backyard where maybe deer come up and stuff like that. I'd
yeah.
put that on in the corner of my computer while I'm working.
See, that's such a good idea. Yeah, getting creative with lives for sure.
Yeah, there's so much you could do. In that, like, I think I brought it up with someone, with maybe it was you. I forget. I'm doing so many lives, but, like, who's the person doing reading, like, nighttime poetry to put people to
Oh,
sleep at 10 p.m.
oh, that's so
Eastern Standard
nice.
Time? Like something like that. Like,
Yeah.
just low lights. I don't know if you
Oh, I love that.
there's I forget his name, and I'm gonna butcher, but there's this guy that from Canada that's, like, he makes food, and he has a very soft voice, and he hands people food, like, on a video, and very
Anyone know? Put
soothing.
it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, old timey hack or something like that. Someone knows in the chat, but like, um, yeah, I mean, you don't like high energy lives and video and stuff. Don't make that. Like, make chill, quiet, good stuff. Like the artists
Yeah.
that we see on here. Like I said, Beth Spencer, and I saw someone else that just recently popped in here does as well. Raj does the top
Yeah.
down video live stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
who just said, "There you go, buddy." Yeah,
Right.
that's a line from that person. So yeah,
And I think too, I love the idea of reading, like having
yeah,
readings, but not necessarily your own stuff.
sure, right,
Like
yes, yeah.
maybe you would read someone else, but I love the idea of doing, and here we go. This is to Simon Hazel. Like, what if Simon Hazel read us War and Peace on a
Oh my
live?
goodness, sure, sure.
Simon, let's do it. I mean, that's what I would love. Like, if he spent this next year reading us War and Peace, would be amazing.
And all that too though is, again, yeah, you're reading someone else's work, or like
Yeah,
you and I right now talking, we're not specifically talking about like my latest post or your
right,
new offering. Live brings in an air, like an idea of like, here's who these people are.
right.
Could are these my people? Because some people might just be, no, this is not for me. Okay, fine, that's fine. But by adding this extra layer, especially in the time of AI right now,
Yeah,
like, who's writing some of these newsletters, maybe, like, or
yeah,
that human element of it at whatever energy level you bring, or however you would make video, is so powerful, I think, and something that AI is not going to be able to replicate for a long time.
yeah. Let's talk about business models. I'm
I love that.
obsessed. Okay. So, like my mastermind, I was telling them, I'm like, you have a business model because you're working with me. And let me tell you what a business model is it means that you are a human who believes you should be paid for your work.
Hmm.
That is a business model. Like that's it. So I am really obsessed with like don't get on Substack. Like don't get on Substack cuz that's horrible. Like no one wants to be on another platform. How is Substack going to serve you in your
Hmm.
life? In your professional, creative, personal goals. Like that's how we want to think of it.
Hmm.
So when you work with clients and you talk to them about a business model, what's like the most recent advice you've given someone? What do you feel like the advice you give people all the time?
Usually it's, and I got this from Scott Perry a while back. Scott Perry used to work with Seth Godin in the Akimbo operation. I met him years ago on a course, the Freelancers Workshop. It was an Akimbo course years ago. Came back in touch with Scott Perry, and an idea he brought up was like proximity.
Hmm.
I'm going to put out stuff. Here's my stuff. Here's my stuff. But if you want closer proximity to me,
Yeah.
it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
So I put out my posts, I make videos, I do stuff like this. Fine. But if you want closer proximity to me, that's where I'm going to charge.
Yeah.
So I do weekly Zoom calls with my paid subscribers. Everything else is free. But if you want to hang out and talk like this in a small group and trade ideas and stuff like that, sign up. So I that part of it though is the Zoom element, which you can do with or without Substack. Is that you can set up a Luma and charge there,
Yeah.
you could set up another service and just, hey, that's my paid membership over there, and that gets
Yeah.
you access to my Zoom calls. Like, Substack is super great for, like, I have a paywalled newsletter that's great for that and stuff. I don't want to do a paywalled newsletter, really. I want to have people support and kind of come closer into my, like, creative orbit.
Yeah.
That's what I've been telling people. Like, that's what I've been telling clients, especially too, of like, because it'll come up like, oh, should I paywall my archive? Should
Right.
I, should I? And it's like, first for me, I mean, that might be an offering for some people. For me, but like for me, it's like, what gives me excitement, what makes me happy, what brings me joy and fulfillment. Archiving my paywall was not that. I want
Yeah.
people to read all my stuff, warts and
Hmm.
all. But so getting on a Zoom call with 8 or 10 people on a Thursday, I love doing that for an hour.
Hmm.
So I really suggest that, like whether it's talking about music or talking about comic books or talk whatever, like to get a group. And this goes back to our original thing of find and how you nurture your subscribers. You don't need 100 people to hop on a Zoom you need like 4 people to hop on a Zoom call with,
Yeah.
eventually 8 maybe, like find those people and find that energy, and that's going to help refine everything that you're doing and help you
Yeah.
find the excitement. That's the big thing I really push for a lot of people when they're trying to figure out their paid offering. I'm like, just find the people that love what you do, and like they'll let you know what your paid offering will be.
Yeah. I think the other thing that this is what comes up for me. So, like, I think people know, I met with almost 800 Substack writers and creators, like in a year and a half. Okay. Like,
Hmm.
I am
I
just
was one of them.
driven.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I've seen so many people, but a lot of them want a paid offering, and
Hmm.
then but they don't actually have a business model. So it's just this abstract, like, I want paid
Hmm.
subscribers, but
Yeah.
I can't tell you, I have a client profile like form that people fill out, and almost everyone says, I want to make $1,000 to $5,000 a month. It's like, I don't know who sold that to people, but like everyone fills in that number. But
Yeah.
that's
I'll take that. Yeah.
60,000. That's 60 grand a year, my friends. Like, that's a nice little income.
That's
So
yeah.
these people also, not these people, but a lot of them aren't thinking of themselves as professionals on
Mm,
Substack. So, like, how do you, like, when we were in the notes beta run, which was so fun, but it was basically, a lot of people, the people from Substack, and then a lot of kind of the bigger, Substacks, and then like me. And and the thing, I learned so much because I was like, wait, these people are all business people. Like, these
mm,
people all show up to their Substacks because it is their job. And I thought, oh, that's what I have to change to be
mm,
making money. And so it was really a mindset change and really looking at it that way. But so if Substack is also your business, don't worry, it's not going to kill your creativity to do this, I
mm-mm.
promise. Like, you're not going to wither as a creative person. You're just going to be
No.
paid. Who was it?
Hmm.
I think it was Elizabeth Bishop that said no one ever wrote better in an uncomfortable chair. Which I love. Like,
It's
it's
good.
true.
It's
Like, you're
good.
allowed to have
Yeah.
comfortable chairs. But
Yeah.
basically, thinking about, you play 5 roles on Substack. Okay. You are writer, editor, publisher, which means you have to stay in the black,
Hmm.
publicist, and salesperson. So,
Yeah.
like, those last three, we don't love those so much, but they can be really fun if you just embrace them. So,
Hmm.
going back to like the business model, one is really approaching your Substack as your profession. Like, this is a professional endeavor. If you're on
Hmm.
this call, that's probably the arena you're in to some degree, whether you
Yeah.
want money or to achieve other things in your life.
Opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
opportunities.
Oh, big time.
Exactly. Big time. Yeah.
The big thing I think along with that line too of oh, what the heck is that going to be? How does is it's so it's going to be a lot harder doing it alone. And being on a call like this, it's just as powerful to find 2 or 3 other people in your world, other
Yeah.
writers that you're friends with or this or that, and get on a weekly Zoom call with them to
Yeah.
just talk about it. Is that the okay, here's step ABC on how to succeed? No, but by being with other people, and they don't even all have to be writers. Like my weekly, Zoom calls with my subscribers, there's photographers, there's musicians, there's writers, there's everything. We don't all do the same thing at all. But
Yeah.
every week we come out from it of like, oh, I learned this from that person. This person had. It's just experience and the wisdom that comes from other people's years of experience that can help. So I really like, that's a big thing is trying to sit here in front of our laptops and white knuckle what our
Yeah.
business model is. It's so hard. once we start opening up and talking with other people about that, I think in a comfortable, safe way, also too with other people that have the audacity to dream and think that you can do this. Because I have a handful of friends that are, regular 9 to 5ers.
Yeah.
That when I say some of the offering ideas I have, like, wait, maybe I could get paid X amount of dollars for like just this, and they're like, wait, why would someone pay? Well, because people do. Like people pay other people hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars to get on Zoom calls. Like,
Yeah.
wait, so don't talk to those people about that because they'll squash your dreams.
Right.
Talk to people like that are on this call, people in the comments, like people around you, and just dream. Like, yeah, and it doesn't have to be like, how am I going to make my $5,000 a month? How am I going to pay my phone bill?
Right.
I just love to pay my phone bill. Start there.
Yeah. And looking at, don't forget, and this is something I do all the time. So I just paid taxes. And it was
Oh,
harrowing.
I don't
But
recommend it, but you got to do it. Yeah.
you do. I like
Yeah.
sidewalks. I'm a big fan of sidewalks, so I pay my taxes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like the thing I always allocate in is one, Substack saves me so much money having to pay an email service provider. So like that's
Oh, big
first.
time.
I calculate the hours and emotional distress that it would have cost me to be on social media that Substack saves me from. I
Hmm.
literally like give myself like $1,000 an hour for every hour it has saved me from social media.
For sure.
So that is a good way. So we are being paid on Substack in very different ways and
Yeah.
also in terms of opportunities. The other thing is your free email list, and I say this all the time. I was saying it to Janine Ouellette, and she's like one of those people where we just always are like, kind of masterminding together. But
Hmm.
I was saying to her, like, your email list is worth so much money. It
So
is
much.
worth so much money, and we just forget that. So we're so after paid subscribers, but that's something to think about too is like, and again, I'm not trying to take any money away from Substack, but one thing I love thinking about is what are ways that this might lead to opportunities and financial opportunities perhaps in the future off of Substack. And that could be a lot of different things. And someone who does that really well, for those of you who are artists, like I was talking about selling your book on Substack and using Substack to do that. Well, that's not directly related to Substack like paid
Hmm.
subscribers that you would get, but that's a place to sell your books. And then on top of it, like being a savvy business person, make sure you're an affiliate on your own book. Like you should get paid to sell your
Yeah.
own book. Like
Hmm.
and someone thought, and someone was a musician and was like, I should do that for my music. And
Hmm.
I said, yeah, you should do this for
Yeah.
everything. It's
Yep.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the business the opportunity part of it is so big, is that going back to your free list thing, like, it's so valuable, Twitter would never give it to you.
Yes, exactly.
Instagram would never, Spotify will never give you those email addresses,
Yeah.
you know?
Such
So
a good way to think of
that
it.
it's so valuable. And that's why they hold on to them. Ticketmaster holds on to the email addresses of people that buy tickets for your shows. You would rather have those couple thousand emails, I would hope,
Yep.
but you're not getting them. Ticketmaster is going to keep them and they're going to market to them. So yeah, the free, like, bring it, fine. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, the free is huge. And not so much in the whole, like, I don't want to say funnel part of it, but it's just more
Yeah.
people to have interaction to brush up against what you're writing about and what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a low barrier to entry. You just never know who might sign up
Yeah.
from wherever in the universe, whether it's through Substack, the ecosystem, a referral, or out there on Google or whatever. So yeah, I mean, one or two, it only takes like one big email person to find you,
Yeah.
whether they're from a book publisher or a record label or this or that, or if it's Sarah Fay
Yeah.
who reaches out and says, "Hey, we should do a Substack live." So yeah,
Totally. So I have to go teach, but
okay, yes, That
So
speaking of,
I
yeah,
think
side
Steph and
business.
I, if we can work it out, we would like this to be a regular show. So
Yeah,
we will be, and again, this is like just me getting my schedule together. But anyone who has suggestions for the name of our show, let us know. We'll be
you love that.
talking about using Substack to get people to your other offerings, business models, that kind of thing. Not being ashamed to want to be paid for your work. There's this weird vibe on notes. Sometimes it's like, I don't care how many subscribers I have. It's like, you're
Sure.
allowed to care. Like, you're
Yeah.
allowed to actually want to bring your work to the world. Like, I'm
Hmm.
going to allow you to do that. But it's so funny. I just think it's hilarious. But
Yes, let
okay.
people pay you. Yeah.
Yeah, let people pay you. SNS on Substack. Sarah and
Oh,
Seth on Substack.
maybe.
Sarah's
Yeah, on
always
Substack.
there.
That's a good one.
She's
Yes,
always
I like
there in
that.
the clutch.
Yep.
I love this. Substack entrepreneurs at work. I love it.
I'll take
These
that
are
too. Yeah.
great. All
Yep.
right, so but we'll be back and we'll figure out a
Yes.
day and a time and when we can do this. And
Yep.
you all are amazing. Thank you for coming. And
Absolutely.
we just want to really be empowering all of us together to be using this incredible thing called Substack to make our lives better. And that's what we're all trying to do in every way.
Yep. Get those emails and be in touch with people that are doing this exact stuff. There you go.
Totally. All
Cool.
right. Talk to you soon. See you
All right.
soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.